In this video, I'm going to be talking about green tea and the effects of excessive green tea on Scara 5. So this is possibly my third, maybe fourth Scara 5 video. So Scara 5 is how it's spelled. And basically, uh, green tea is protective on a Scara 5, and it can be functional with moderate green tea, not too much. So with the moderate green tea, there's proper sequestration of Fe2 iron. Also, redox buffering prevents Fenton-driven lipid peroxidation, and also lipid raft stability. That's good to prevent CD27, CD70. If you've seen my other videos on CD27, CD70 axis, then you already know what I'm talking about. Also, effective immune cell infiltration is another benefit of moderate green tea, and that is proper actin integrin clutch engagement. That's critical for PSMAC formation against tumors, and tumors, they hate PSMAC. Also, moderate green tea allows talon kindlin to remain bound, which is a part of integrin clustering. That is also important for the formation of PSMAC, which is the end of the tumor. So green tea has a massive, high potential to be an anti-cancer compound. Okay, but have to be careful with green tea because there are some serious consequences if green tea is excessive. So one of the first ones is integrin declustering, means talon kindlin dissociation. So that means that it reverses or prevents PSMAC formation. Excessive green tea, it can also lead to oxidative damage to the membranes of the lysosome, as well as raft peroxidation. This is where lysosomes, they become especially vulnerable because they contain redox active iron and degraded molecules. This is due to when the intracellular iron is poorly regulated. Excessive Fe2, which is a form of iron, pools inside of the lysosomes and associates with membrane lipids. And Fe2 iron is highly reactive and drives the Fenton reaction, generating hydroxyl radicals. And now the consequences of these hydroxyl radicals is that there is a DNA strand breaks and DNA mutations, which could possibly lead to cancer. Also, loss of function of proteins. Also, this can contribute to more inflammation, which was where cancer migrates towards. Also, cell death, necrosis, or apoptosis. So apoptosis is another word for programmed cell death. So possibly apoptosis of immune cells. So possibly less T cells, less NK cells, and then tumors are free to roam and grow without any immune cells attacking them. Okay, as a result of the reduced integrin function because of excessive green tea, it also disables or impairs this process called chemotaxis, and chemotaxis is essential for immune defense. Um, for example, helps neutrophils and macrophages. I've made many other videos on macrophages, is that they help destroy pathogens by like phagocytosis engulfing. So that's impaired by excessive green tea. Also, chemotaxis is also needed for wound healing. So cells move to damaged tissue to repair it, possibly an autoimmunity where excessive T cells are attacking healthy body tissue. So excessive green tea also impairs wound healing as well. Okay, here's where Fe2 iron, the Fenton reactions on chemotaxis, can be a positive thing, but at controlled levels, which is not possible, of course, with excessive green tea. And that is the effects of Fe2 and low-level Fenton reaction leads to low levels of reactive oxygen species, which can act as signaling molecules, helps guide immune cells, and also enhances chemotaxis, as I explained earlier, and then also promotes pathogen killing as well. But that's only at controlled levels of Fenton reactions by iron. So also impaired chemotaxis because of excessive green tea leads to oxidative damage and also excessive inflammation, leading to overproduction of reactive oxygen species. This leads to over recruitment of immune cells. So that's possibly too many T cells, and then healthy bodily tissues being attacked as an autoimmunity, therefore leading to tissue damage. Also, the high oxidative stress as a result of the impaired chemotaxis and inflammation from excessive green tea also kills neutrophils and macrophages. So that's not a good thing, because then that means that debris, dead cells are going to accumulate in the body, and if those dead cells are not cleared, that can lead to cancer growth. But that's for a different video. It's beyond the scope of this video. So also macrophages and neutrophils, they can't go around cleaning up dead cancer cells as well, because if or no dying tumor cells, because if those dying tumor cells are not cleared, they release ATP, where tumors, they use the ATP to create adenosine, and then the adenosine suppresses T cells, so the T cells cannot fight and battle cancer cells. So that goes to show that excessive green tea can be a very bad thing, especially if someone is already diagnosed with cancer, should probably avoid green tea. Okay, so another issue with excessive green tea, so causing iron mislocalization, that could lead to reactive oxygen species, triggering lipid peroxidation in the lysosomal membranes. So, if you've seen my other videos, I've made many on lysosomes, and then you already know how bad that can be, because that can lead to the release of cathepsins. Um, the cathepsins are supposed to be in the lysosomes. So if they leak out, then the exosomes cannot be degraded by the cathepsins, because that's the cathepsin's job, is to degrade the exosomes inside the lysosomes. So that is not possible if excessive green tea is causing iron mislocalization, because excessive iron, um, the oxidation that it creates can disrupt the structure and the fluidity of the lipid rafts for plasma membrane microdomains. So the effect of iron overload in lysosomes, increased membrane fragility, and also pushes cells toward dysfunction. But worst of all, the exosomes are not degraded, and then the tumors are more likely to receive the exosomes, especially if the lysosomes fuse to the plasma membrane or the MVB sacs, and then that's how the tumors get the exosomes. That's usually because the excessive iron is causing the plasma membrane to disrupt, and then their structure and the fluidity is disrupted because of the oxidation, and then the tumors get the exosomes, and then it's terrifyingly effective on the immune system, which is beyond the scope of this video. So that's it for the video. If you're interested in more future videos, then make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Keep it locked in here on my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.